नमस्ते फ्रेंड, आप सभी का एक बार फिर से वेलकम। और फ्रेंड्स, वीडियो शुरुआत करने से पहले एक थैंक्स टू ऑल ऑफ आप सभी को जिन्होंने मेरा चैनल सब्सक्राइब किया है, उसे बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और जिन साथियों ने अभी भूल गए हैं उन्हें भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आने वाले दिनों में आप सब्सक्राइब करिएगा। फ्रेंड्स, जब से CS वेंकटाचलम साहब ने 29 अक्टूबर 93 को पेंशन स्कीम वाज लॉन्च का लेटर लिखा, तब से हमारे जो पुराने बैंकर साथी हैं, एक्स बैंकर्स हैं, उनके मन में कुछ आक्रोश है उनकी बातों को लेकर, और उसकी प्रतिक्रियाएं आ रही हैं। एक प्रतिक्रिया श्री RK भटेजा साहब ने, जो अर्स्टवाइल SBBJ के एक्स बैंकर हैं, उन्होंने लिखा, डियर श्री वेंकटाचलम जी, it is requested to revisit your own circular dated 28 October 25, wherein you have mentioned a bundle of lies and wrongly stated that some critics have started a campaign against AIBA/UFBU in social media. It is absolutely wrong version what you state, but please note that the so-called true critics are the pensioners who have been suffering financially due to atrocities inflicted on them since 3 decades and raising their voice to get justice for the whole pensioner fraternity. Whatsoever the pensioners are writing are the true facts beyond doubt, and we do not hesitate to write that only the leadership of AIBA/UFBU is responsible for the present unfortunate condition of pensioners. Of course, AIBA is the pioneer organization, but the present leadership has badly tarnished its image. In your letter, under reference, you have tried to pat your own back by summarizing some pensioners' issue as an achievement of AIBA. Undoubtedly, AIBA deserves appreciation for this great achievement of implementing pension scheme in public sector banks, but it completely failed in implementation of the terms and conditions laid down by the great warrior, late Comrade Tarkeshwar Chakravarti, who must be cursing all UFBU leaders from the heaven. Sir, you might have simultaneously enumerated the unlawful decisions taken during your regime, which have been continuously harming the pensioner financially and medically till date, but you did not bother to resolve those issues at all, even if these facts have been brought to your knowledge for resolution, but otherwise you took it as only your personal criticism. Anyway, first point, it is a fact that 100% DA was achieved for pre-2002 retirees in 8 BPS with effect from November 2005. But I do not consider it as your achievement. It was only a correction of your own wrongdoings in 7th BPS. All the senior-most pre-2002 pensioners with leisure pension lost their arrears of 2 decades. I also remind you the retirees lost the 100% DA case in Supreme Court only due to the wrongdoings of AIBRF and AIBA. Furthermore, you have not disclosed that those who retired between the period 1st November 2002 to November 2005 were denied arrears. Can you justify this denial? Second option for the pension was only a halfway achievement. As per agreement, the retirees were given pension with effect from 2009 instead of from the date of retirement, whereas the share of employees' PF was recovered with interest, that is the 156% of DA. It is a serious violation of Pension Regulation 95. Third, regarding updation of pension, you have mentioned that due to the cost-related aspect of the demand, this issue was not clinched. Sir, it is a false and fabricated excuse. Our updation of pension is not connected with cost aspect for financial constraints of banks. If the regulation number 11 of the pension regulation 95 is strictly followed, there is no question of fund shortage. It could easily pay an out pension out of the income earned from the pension fund lying in pension fund trust accounts of the banks. It is also a fact that at the time, second options, the PF shares of retirees was recovered with interest, but the banks did not ensure to cover up shortage in funds trust accounts. Secondly, at the time of VRS in 2000, the banks did not credit the amount required to cover up payment of pension to a large number of VRS optees. Why did you give this latitude to banks and ensured adherence of regulation number 11? Why are you so much worried about cost aspect? Why do you not refute this excuse on the spot? This is the responsibility of the banks to manage funds as provided in para 11 of the BPR 95. Why you did not oppose the wrong excuse of IBA of cost aspect forcefully for pension updation demand as you stood formally in case of wage revision of employees? Is there any condition laid down in pension regulations 95 that pension will be revised only if the balance in pension fund allows? Why did you not oppose the false excuse that there is no provision of pension updation in BPR 95? In spite of all these questions, the pension has been updated in RBI and NABARD by DFS, and Grameen Bank's got pension scheme on the strength of Memorandum of Settlement 93. Moreover, the Grameen Banks have achieved the pension with effect from 93 with areas which you cannot even achieve in DRIPS, where AIBA stands. Fourth, improvement in family pension was neither your demand nor your achievement. It was due to the pressure of Finance Minister, and IBA announced it surprisingly without your knowledge. Fifth, ex gratia of rupees 10,000 to pre-86 retirees was also as per the government guidelines. 6. There is no provision of ex gratia to pensioners. It was, of course, in lieu of updation of pension, as you have already sold our updation at the cost of second option in 2009. This is the reason that you are never serious for pension updation of all bank pensioners. The inclusion of this issue in your charter of demands is only a formality to please the pensioners. 7 points में after long persuasion, the difference of DA point 1616 to 1684 was resolved, but another parity has been created by non-merging of DA point 8088 for pre-2022 retirees, and also CPI index was not changed from 1960 to 2060 for the same group of pensioners. 8. IBA is wrongly indulged in deciding and recovering insurance premium for IBA health insurance scheme from retirees by taking over retirees' share of 25% in favor of working employee in staff welfare fund in violation of orders as per DFS letter dated 24th February 2012 on the recommendations of Khandelwal Committee. 9th, last but not the least, still another big shock. A special allowance was introduced only with the intention to reduce basic pension of the retirees not eligible for pension who retired after 1st November 12 and continuing reduction in 11th and 12th BPS, resulting in net loss of few thousands to each pensioners. Sir, if you still claim that you are equally worried about retired employees as also for working employees, then it is most unfortunate. After all, why are you so much interested in deciding pensioners' issue during BPS is $1 million question. We demand an honest clarification from you as General Secretary of AIBA, which is having the biggest stake in BPS. You as General Secretary of AIBA are only liable to your working employees members. Either you honestly take up the issue of retirees to discuss and resolve to its logical end, or leave it for banks who are actually responsible to implement BPR 95 in letter and words. You must understand that the retired employees are well aware of your conspiracies. Almighty is looking every action of yours along with 2 lakhs beeping souls of pensioners from the heaven. Still, you have the time to repent for your misdeeds by redressing the grievances of retired employee. Think again, coolly and decide. Regards, R.K. भटेजा साहब ने पत्र के एक एक पॉइंट का जो सटीक जवाब दिया। काश वेंकटाचलम आत्ममंथन करते, आत्मचिंतन करते, उन्हें महसूस होगा कि कितने लोगों के साथ वो धोखा कर रहे हैं। थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स, नमस्ते।